Okay, hello, Janna Lopez, Land of Enchantment Writing. I am a psychic book guide, writer, author, teacher, retreat leader, and a poet. And I'm thrilled to share with you here on National Poetry Month. I'm just posting something every day that hopefully will give you inspiration or insight or help you make inroads into what many believe is the mysterious hidden world of poetry. And I want to share that I was a very late bloomer with poetry. I never liked it. I didn't get it. I always felt put off by it. But all that changed. And I want to say maybe 6 years ago or so, I started to really learn how to stair step my way into poetry, become less afraid, start giving myself time and patience, and not being so hard on myself. That poetry was the secret handshake that only a few people had, and I was on the outside of. And it's true, when we've grown up in school, most of the poetry I was presented with was stuffy and elitist, and it never related to anything that I felt or saw or anything about me or my life that felt relevant. But all that's changed. And now I am so passionate about helping others and teaching others about the amazing, infinite, unlimited world poetry really does bring. And it just takes time helping people unlearning everything they've learned about poetry so they can start to learn and adapt and connect and explore and get curious about poetry, because there's some really amazing work out there. And I discover something new every day in my own writing poetry and in my own reading of poetry. And so reading and writing of poetry to me are two different things, although they are related. So today, on day 3 of National Poetry Month, I've been doing these videos. I'm going to do one every day. I just want to talk about what poetry is and isn't in the way of what we've thought. So the way I teach it, no rules, no rhyming, no structure, no form. And it really is all about ultimate freedom in the writing. So a way to stair step into reading poetry, there's a couple of things you can do. First, think of poetry more as like an abstract painting. So if you were to go and look at an abstract painting, you wouldn't necessarily, well, I could only speak for myself, I wouldn't necessarily go and look at an abstract painting. And I've held that same feeling of frustration. What is it? What is it supposed to be? Why doesn't it look like anything? It's just a bunch of splatters on the paint. And I would find myself getting super judgmental and evaluating the merit of the painting before I actually spent any time with it. I've done that so many times that my knee-jerk reaction whenever I look at an abstract painting is to like it, hate it, name it, categorize it, and to pretty much destroy any possibility for myself for exploring what the artist might have wanted to communicate. And so I've since learned that I approach poetry now more as a feeling and less as an intellectual exercise of understanding. If the words in a poem don't make sense, if the words in the title don't make sense, instead of having a knee-jerk reaction, what I do now is take a step back, take a breath, and read it. And that's a great place to start with poems. We're going to talk more about how to access poetry, but starting with titles is always an amazing way to enter into a poem. What does the title mean? Well, how does the title make you feel? It's kind of a different question. And so giving yourself allowance, I never use the word permission, giving yourself allowance to feel what a poem's title means is what I want to leave you with today. Just one thing that might make a difference when you read the title of a poem instead of going, what does it mean? I don't get it. This is stupid. Ask yourself how it feels. And that's an interesting way to start the process of engaging with the poem, is to think of it in terms of how it makes you feel and not what it is it's telling you that you have to know. And that's it. That's all I want to say about poetry today, is to enter into the process of being with poems with the question of, what does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? Does it remind you of something or give you a feeling just based on the words without it being specific or literal or exactly like something you know intellectually in your head? So many of the poems that I read are so beautiful with what they make me feel. And sometimes I can't even put words to what that is, but it's very different relationship. And that is something I think is very important. I look at engaging with poetry as an extension of my own writing relationship with myself. So poems can be little moments of relationship building, that you're slowly getting to know yourself through the work you're reading and writing, taking your time. And it takes trust and patience to build these relationships with words, with our own words and with others. So look at it as a relationship and wonder how it makes you feel, not how it makes you think. And we'll see where that goes. So happy National Poetry Month. I hope you have enjoyed my few ideas, and I will chat with you tomorrow.